All right. Let's go to Super Chats.
All right. Kellen L. said, Mary, I remembered the word from yesterday, code switch.
Wait, so
I don't even remember what our conversation was about.
Who is that from?
It was from Kellen. We were talking about Gen Z brain rot slang.
Oh.
Which we'll get into later.
We'll get into that.
Code switching. Yeah, I've definitely heard that, but it's more about racial stuff, right? Like, it started because black people would say like, oh, when I take business calls, I pretend to have a white accent so that people won't discriminate against me. Gordon Shumway said, happy Friday, Bartleby and Mindy. Oh, hi, Morgan.
All the names are wrong. Bartleby is me. Mindy is her. In Morgan, they put with just AN. So
I don't want to share the same name as Mindy Kaling. No, thank you. Pop Culture Junkie said, hi, Mary. Take it easy this weekend and get well. Believe I will.
And there, let's do two more.
DCNC said, Bready Boyne Bags. Ozempic drug sharing parties is the plot of the South Park treatment. Randy Marsh gets the wrong idea.
Yeah.
I didn't end up watching that.
The South Park Ozempic special.
Okay.
Do one more.
Nate said, sorry to derail, but I like my theory on Grande more. Missed you all. Yeah, she's just a closet cannibal, obviously.
You never know. All right, let's move on then. Time to talk about all that brain rot you were just discussing.
We need to talk about Gen Z brain rot. This is the new lexicon of Gen Z. And basically, if you already know the term brain rot, if you know what it is, you already have it. And this came up in a piece in the New York Times where there were a bunch of examples of people who are describing brain rot as basically the new language for Gen Z. It's what they use to communicate with each other. And it's sort of like gatekeeping other generations from participating in a certain conversation. But like some examples, grimace shake, Rizzler, or Riz turned into Rizzler. Mogging, mewing, edging, gooning, glazing. I could go on.
Mary has brain rot.
I have brain rot. And as we were saying before the show started,
don't talk to your parents about gooning or edging, guys.
Definitely not.
Don't do that.
But we have brain rot because our job entails being chronically online, as does yours.
Yep.
So all three of us are here having brain rot, and we didn't even know it.
I think anyone who is online at this point just has brain rot because we are so consumed. It's like that video we just watched. Like, she has the epitome of brain rot because her entire vocabulary is not even English. That's what it's turned into.
If you or someone you love speaks almost exclusively in internet references, they may be suffering from a condition known as brain rot. The term refers primarily to low-value internet content and the effects caused by spending too much time consuming it. Example, I've been watching so many TikToks, I have brain rot. Online discussion of brain rot has recently grown so widespread that some social media users have begun creating parodies of people who seem to embody the condition. Which brings me to our video today, which is a brain rot ranking video. They rank all of the brain rot terms.
I love this. This is like I have no idea why it's like this, but The Rock is in the worst aspect ratio.
No, that's the point. That's the brain rot.
It's the best part of this. So here, let's go ahead and watch this, guys.
Hello, guys. Today I have made a list of the top 10 biggest brain rot words. Let's not wait any longer. Here is my number 10. At number 10, I have grimace shake. This word is not funny. At number 9, I have kitten please just shut the hell up. At number 8, I have phantom tax bro how is this even funny. At number 7, I have Ohio it's not 2022 anymore grow up. At number 6, I have edge this word is straight up boring. At number 5, I have Kai Cenat why is he even here. At number 4, I have Sigma stop me trying Andrew Tate. At number 3, I have Skibbity you were born after 2012. At number 2, I have Guyet, I hope your pillow is warm. At number 1, I have Riz, you will never get a girlfriend.
Okay.
Subscribe.
$20 super chat there from, do you got that one?
Bender the Offender said, Gen Z just loves to rot max. Yeah, that's another one. If you say, I'm blank maxing. But, you know, what's funny about this is I've heard all of these terms for a couple of years now, at least.
They've come back.
And now they're coming back, but in a parody of themselves, which is the most Gen Z thing ever. Is like Gen Z is kind of using these terms to make fun of how stupid they are and how little their slang terms actually hold meaning. But here are some more examples. Okay, skibbity, giat, riz or rizzler, goon, edge, beta, sigma, alpha, etc., ratio plus L, sus, among us, Ohio, phantom tax, mewing, maxing.
We should have had Serge on with us today.
He literally speaks in brain rot language despite being a millennial. Livy Dunn, any mention of Livy Dunn. Baby Gronk.
I had to explain Livy Dunn and Baby Gronk to someone recently, and even then,
can you do it for us now?
No, I can't.
Like live on air.
I can't. Like there's whole channels dedicated to following social media interactions between Livy Dunn and Baby Gronk, and if you watched it, you're like, you would think that the world is imploding.
Another one is Bro thinks he's Cardi, hitting the gritty. Any mention of Kai Cenat.
Somebody says,
phantom tax.
Somebody says, what is a Livy Dunn?
We've talked about Livy Dunn on the show before.
She's a gymnast.
She's a gymnast. She's blonde. She's very pretty. And
she's so famous she doesn't have to go to the Olympics. She's dating a pro baseball player now.
Yes. Everyone loves Livy Dunn.
There was
very
famous. They interviewed. I don't remember the player's name though, but they interviewed this this kid who was like, "What do you love about this guy, this new pitcher?" And he's like, his mustache and the fact that he's dating Livy Dunn.
We have some more Giga Chad, Based, Cringe. Those have been around forever. Kino, Red Pilled, No Nut November.
I mean, those aren't.
Looks Maxing.
We're getting into millennial territory.
What's Slay? I think Slay.
Okay, so this is what showed up to me as bifurcation. Like, there's female brain rot, which is like, I'm a tomato girl, and then there's male brain rot, which is like
the Sigma.
Yeah, like Sigma grind set memes and like Peaky Blinders and like Zin and stuff like that.
But even the Peaky Blinders stuff kind of dovetails into like boomer memes, like boomer uncle.
This is how it migrates, right? And that's why finally the boomers who work at the New York Crimes are writing about brain rot because they just found out about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Or like It's Giving something or other. Hot Girl Summer, Hot Girl Walks.
It's like that. There was that like voice, like that voiceover that went viral for a long time about the guy pretending to be giving like or going to therapy. It's like when you go to your Gen Z therapist, it's like, how are the vibes? Low key, off. And how is your Riz?
I think people are actually talking like this. Like, I mean, I said that earlier, but like, this has become the Gen Z normal. It's not even just brain rot anymore. It is just the new Gen Z vocabulary. I saw a TikTok the other day of this girl going in for a job interview. And she's like, yeah, like I have Riz and this is like what I do. It was like a total parody of it. But that's like the new thing is Gen Z is parodying themselves, but they're actually doing it unironically in real life.
Right. Like it's a joke, but at the same time, it's your life.
Or have you seen the people that they're asking for PTO from their jobs and the millennials be like, my Gen Z employee just asked for PTO and this is what he said. And it's like all in brain rot terms.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a good sign. And now it's getting to the point where brain rot is in itself a meme, but it's starting to be recognized as an actual medical condition. There is a growing recognition of a disorder that researchers at Boston Children's Hospital have called problematic interactive media use. This pediatrician founded a digital wellness lab for Gen Z. He said that his patients refer to brain rot as a way of describing what happens when you spend a lot of your time online, have shifted your awareness over to online space as opposed to in real life, and are filtering everything through the lens of what has been posted or what can be posted. And many of his patients seem to consider having brain rot a badge of honor.
Do you remember that that clip from like 10 years ago about the guy who went viral? It was like on Dr. Phil, and they're like, why don't you talk to your families? Like they have no followers online. He's like, why would I spend time with them? They're irrelevant. And he's like, because they're your family. He's like, they don't matter.
But that's what happens when you're chronically online is you think that everything in the digital aura is real. And it's like, in the reality, it's all not real.
There's a $20 there from Gordon Shumway.
That Gen Z brain rot speech is the equivalent to Durga Muhammad Jihad Hapas Sherpa Bakala What?
There's also like, look, it's not like other generations didn't have plenty of slang. It's just the internet has really kickstarted that to make it its own language.
Okay, give me the millennial slang. Like, remind me.
It reminds me of the scene in the Disney movie Brink where like he talks to his dad. He goes, "What up?" He goes, "English, dad up." You know, your parents forever not knowing what you're saying that's not new to any specific generation.
But I feel like it's way worse now. Like the generation now just cognitively isn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what was millennial slang though? Like calling things dope?
I mean, I guess
On fleek. That's
that
one
would be
of them.
that would be millennial, and that would be millennial online too. Like, see, I like as somebody who skated, your actual brain filters through. You know, before the internet, your brain probably shifted slang through subcultures.
Right.
Not that were unique to sports you did or activities you did, things like that.
Like pre-technology, because millennials, it was like the Tumblr era.
Yeah, at the same time, like, it's cool that people can come up with entirely new words like chuggy and add that into the English language. Like, that's creative.
Yeah.
And it has a real meaning and it is useful. However, when it gets to this point, I don't think Gen Z realizes that it's a problem because they're so deep in the irony poisoning that like everything is a joke, and you can't stage an intervention on them. They're just going to think that it's a joke.
That is the difference. Is back in the day, everything was done through the lens of actual meaningful social interaction. Nobody's willing to do that anymore.
Well, that doesn't exist anymore.
Everything has to, because it's too much risk. It's too much risk to put yourself out there like that. So everything has to be mildly ironic, just in case. It's kind of like I would say my favorite quote is, "Everything I say is a joke unless you agree."
Well, people are too scared of consequences now, so they just speak in brain rot, and then if it's like funny and ironic, then it's fine.
There's a 20.
From Jason Hextra, he said, speaking of brain rot, would you support schools banning smartphones? I think that devil California governor is about to pass something similar.
They are.
Is that going to be like the first good thing he's ever done?
So it's in LA County. They want to restrict all phones. You can't have your phone at school. And I saw that the Attorney General or there was somebody up in the government, they want to add social media health warning labels to all platforms, which I'm like, that's interesting. Banning phones during school, I'm like, I mean, maybe they'll learn something, but also going to public school is also just predictive.
But isn't that
brain rot?
That sounds like the bare minimum to me, because I know that I grew up relatively sheltered and this was just the norm for me. Like it was always understood, every school I ever attended, that you would get in serious trouble if you had your phone out anywhere. They were mandatory. They have to be turned off and in your locker for all school hours. You could not have them in the classroom. They certainly couldn't be on even in the middle of a free period. Nothing.
Really?
Nothing.
See, I had my phone out all through like middle school and high school. Like they'd be like, put your phone away. But
there's no rule that actually like means you have to.
I think there was like a rule, but no one paid attention. This was like public high school in California. And now it's got to the point though where teachers are policing their students on phone usage. But there's no way to control it when you've got 30 kids all scrolling on TikTok with an AirPod in with their hair covering. Like there's nothing these teachers can do.
Every job I've ever had, I would get in trouble for wearing headphones at work. It's so funny how now it's like, see, back in my day, you had to hide the cord underneath your shirt and then, you know, make sure that people couldn't see that you were wearing it. Now everyone just has an AirPod in one ear.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's a golden age to wear headphones everywhere you go, guys.
I actually think it's a good thing.
That sounds great.
Be in class.
That sounds like a great idea.
Maybe they'll suffer from less brain rot.
That one high school that staged a walkout over it because they implemented that rule. But look, you can't keep that up forever.
Look, right? I was reliably told when I was young that I wasn't going to carry a calculator around in my pocket everywhere I go, so I needed to learn math. That was proven wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So. It's the social justice generation. If they do enough walkouts, then it will go their way.
It's sad. It's so sad. Like if you think it's over for Gen Z, it's going to be so much worse for Gen Alpha.
Maybe Gen Alpha will push past general irony and like irony and sarcasm into something new.
Plot
Are they going to be
twist,
sincere?
maybe Gen Alpha will actually be like the comeback traditional generation because they'll see how effed up their parents are.
Generation sincere. Generation sincere.
But if you were raised by Coco Melon, if you were raised by
that's baby brain
an
rot.
iPad, That is Gen Alpha, though. Like, they were
I know.
literally anyone born after 2012 was born in the age of the iPad.
Oh, wait, Gen Alpha's 2012. Oh, yeah. Wait, they're screwed.
Yeah, it's literally over for them. They are to speak in Brainrot language, they're cooked.
They're cooked.
It's
The
I don't
iPad
know if they can come
kids.
back from that, because if you've been so profoundly cognitively handicapped
It's from birth.
They're gonna be learning the ABCs, like M is for mewing,
it's like Z is for Zoomer.
R is for rizzing.
F is for famine.
No, there
tax.
actually was an author who was recently on the Red Scare podcast talking about her book. And in that book, she included an essay that's basically a glossary or like a dictionary of like Gen Z brain rot terms. And it was called Z was for Zoomer. And that's actually like what they're going to raise these children on.
I do worry about them because like the cognitive just isn't there currently. I've watched Coco Melon.
What we should do is we should make all of
horrible.
these kids in Gen Z spell these words in cursive.
If only they could learn cursive.
It would
again.
Only they knew what cursive
It would be
was.
amazing, right?
I mean, maybe like the homeschooling generation could fix this, but at the same time, I see this trend of unschooling going on
Yeah.
now. Have you seen this? Free schooling and unschooling?
No, is this separate from homeschooling?
Well, it falls under the umbrella of homeschooling, but essentially what it means is not teaching your children any curriculum whatsoever, and you let them lead their own
okay,
curiosity.
your kid's just gonna be stupid.
And
okay?
and this lady who does free schooling with her kid was like, guys, don't worry if you're doing unschooling and you're worried that your kid isn't going to learn how to write or read fast enough like the other kids. He'll be curious enough eventually. Look at my 6-year-old's journal, and it has like literally just like primitively written letters at 6 years old. Okay, so if you let your kid lead their own education journey, just whatever
Where's
they're
the
curious
discipline?
about, and you're supposed to just trust them to want to learn on their own.
Yeah, no, that kid's gonna be screwed for his future. Like you gotta have to an extent some education.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.